What's up YouTube? KM888 here with the updated version of my Pendulum ZEXAL build. I went to Euros. When it was there, I used it, was great, worked well, and I've actually come up with some things to make it even better. I wanted to show you guys before the August list dropped. I don't think it's going to touch Pendulum, but it might touch things like Goki, it might touch the combo in Firewall, stuff like that. But I wanted to show it now so you can play a little bit more informed with the deck, that how I'm using it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go into the deck profile because it's 51 cards, pretty big, and it's all necessary. So yeah, first of all, triple Chronograph Sorcerer. Chronograph is the hardest soul of the deck. You can't run it anymore at another way. The one Time Gazer, it's a brick, but it happens. Doesn't matter. For the rest of the Magicians, still playing the triple Purple Poison. I'm sticking to it because it's critical to have to break a Goki board, because you give your monsters 1200 extra attack, which makes it, if they only have one mermaid, you can, with one Purple Poison, you can push over the mermaid, which is amazing. So yeah. The one Black Fang Magician, you don't want, you want the least amount of magicians you can. One Harmonizing, the only reason why this thing is still in the deck is because it's an additional name for Pendulum Call, and if you get hand trapped, this card is actually pretty decent, else it wouldn't be in the deck, I think. The one Oath Dragon, plussing is nice, but you won't end with magicians in a lot of scenarios, so yeah, just the one is fine. For the turbo cards, bar the Chronograph, of course. Triple Abyss Actor card is amazing. If the opponent has Naturia Beast, this card gets over it. It's just the same attack, so it's an out to Naturia Beast as well. Triple Mystical Beast Master Cerberus, card is bunkers. Yeah, if it has 4 counters, can't be destroyed by card effects, it's really good, so. Double Jackal King, I do play the Desires, so I do think you have to run double of the bricks. Of the good bricks at least. The Time Gazer isn't that good, so yeah. Double Jackal King. Triple Magical Abductor. I really like Abductor in this deck because you have a lot of spells, and with the Electromites you're going to pop your scales. You're definitely going to get to that additional surge, which is really good. Triple Savant Kepler, it's just additional searches in the deck, it's needed. This card alone, if you draw it, is a +3, so which is amazing. Of course, with Thomas, you're going to search contract search Thomas gets back to Kepler. Crazy. Triple Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. If you have Pendulum Call, this is actually the best starter you have. This and Pen Call is broken, so yeah, you go +2 off of that, like, instantly. Double Supreme King Gate 0. Again, like with the Jackal King, it's a brick, but it's a decent brick because it's skill 0. So you want a second one in case you banish one with the Desires. 3 Bumbuku. I still like 3 Bumbuku just because of the fact that Bumbuku can search itself. I'm not playing the cat anymore because the cat is actually a brick on its own. I've had a couple of times at locals now that I've been drawing the cat, and just not having the Bumbuku really hurts because you don't plus immediately, and having the cat isn't really helpful either if you can search it out, because while it's true it's a scale 2, it doesn't come up that you put it in a scale. It's just a neck actually, because just having the search in the end phase doesn't really matter. If you get off the ZEXAL lock, you'll win next turn anyway, so yeah, just 3 Bumbuku. And the final monster, the one Rescue Hamster. Card is still bunkers. If you can go into Electromite without your normal summon, which actually happens quite a lot, the Rescue Hamster gives you so many pluses, it's crazy. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, again, some cards that you really need. 2 Shrine, 1 Foolish. You really want to send those Darkworms to the grave, and as your first play actually, so and then plus from there. I'm playing the 1-for-1 in a deck where you have 51 cards. I do believe you have to max out on a lot of cards, and the 1-for-1 just helps having that other starter card. You can special the Kepler from your deck, which is amazing. Double Contract. Yeah, search out the Thomas. If you see this card first, also search out the Thomas. Just send the Kepler to your extra deck with the second Electromite most of the time, so yeah. Triple Pendulum Call. Card is broken. I don't know why some people cut it down. It's crazy. If they have to ash something, yes, sure, you have a lot of cards, so just bait something out, I don't know. Triple Desires, card is busted as well in this deck. 51, you're never running out of cards. you can easily get off 2 Desires in one duel. You don't really mind actually. If you have the ZEXAL luck, it's there, you win. Triple Allure of Darkness. Yeah, what can I say? I don't play Wisdom Eye because of this card. It's another Wisdom Eye would be another brick with the Pendulum Call. But just having the triple allure is really good because you just get rid of some bricks, and when you get the Kepler back from the Thomas, you just banish that Kepler. It's not needed anymore. You get more draws, you get more monsters, dig deeper into the deck. It's really good. It fuels your Abductor. It's crazy. It's really good. And then the final 2 spells, the double rank up magic. You have to play 2 because you can't afford banishing the single 1-up from the Desires. So you have to play 2. It does come up that you draw one of the 2, and I do believe that the combo is slightly worse when you have it. But when they hand trap you, draw and lock, stuff like that, and you have it in your hand, you still have the combo, which is good on its own then. But yeah, I mean, having 2 is essential, so you can't get over that. This is for the main deck. Like I said, 51 cards. I do not think that I'm going to play the newly revealed YCS prize card, the Chaos Dragon, the Chaos Emperor Armageddon Dragon, I think it's called. I've seen the effect, and I do think it's kind of mediocre. It doesn't progress your plays. It's pretty situational, where you have where you can use Allure to banish a Dark Worm, then get it back with the Chaos Dragon to special summon itself to get the extra plus. I do think that's a bit situational. The only good thing the card has is that it's an out to the Goki board. If you can summon it from your hand, because, well, the ability is in the way first of all. But if you summon it to the field, it's sense and it doesn't target, so you can out the Goki board. So if Goki doesn't get hit on the August list, then I might have to get one just to have the out. But I don't think that it's going to be necessary, so yeah, deck is good as it is. For the extra deck, pretty standard first things, triple Electromite. Now, what can I say? You have to do the combo, follow the game plan, Firewall Dragon. Card's nuts. For the Nightmares, I'm playing the 1 Nightmare Goblin. This card lets you draw, which is a possibility to go into your rank up. You have the Nightmare Phoenix. Going first, you won't have anything to pop, so you probably won't go into this, but it's a necessary evil for the anti-spell, so you have to run it. Nightmare Unicorn. There's a lot of options where you can end on the Unicorn just to get a double draw in your next draw phase, but you don't need to go into this, so it could be an additional out for some cards from your opponent, which is also really good. The Nightmare Griffin. Nightmare Griffin is most of the time your card with which you draw the rank up magic. So yeah, the Goblin, the Griffin are options, and then there's the Saryuja. You have to play the Saryuja in this deck. There's no other way, because if you don't see any spell cards during your combo, no Allure, no Desires, can't get to the DD engine, then you don't have a spell card to get back from your graveyard with the Griffin, which results in the fact that you can't draw the rank up magic. So at that point, when you're in that situation, you'll just end up using the Firewall effect to bounce 2 monsters from your graveyard back to your hand. You go +2 from that. And then you'll use the Firewall, the Goblin, and 2 monsters with which you would have made like the Griffin with. But you go into the Saryuja Skulldred instead, and you draw 4. So you will draw your rank up magic, and you can put back the bricks that you got back from the Firewall. So you can actually build a good hand with that. So yeah, you really need this. One in Girsu, the World Chalice Warrior. When you go second against Goki boards, I am pretty convinced you need this card. If you have the purple poison and you can out the board, you can, in main phase 2, you can go into Ningirsu and send something away, which is the most vital thing on their board. And that way you can actually break the board, which is really good because they don't have anything left in their extra deck that is of importance. And with that you can actually win. So the Ningirsu is one of the most important cards that you can have at that point. I do run the Boral Sword Dragon. I think it's necessary because when you go for ZEXAL, the field that I end on most of the time is Firewall, Griffin, the ZEXAL, and then either a Phoenix, Goblin, or Unicorn, depending on what my preferences are, or what cards that I can have in my hand. So at that point, you don't have a lot of attack on board. So with just the Firewall and the Griffin, and the possible Pendulum summon, you won't get to the OTK in your next turn, and you really want that. So the Boral Sword is there to, when you Pendulum summon, you can just use 3 monsters, go with the Boral Sword effect, and OTK. So you really need the Boral Sword in my opinion. Also, if you don't have the ZEXAL luck, or when you go second, this card is just broken. It's awesome. And then the final 4 cards are for the combo. You need the Rebarian Shark to stack the rank up magic on top of your deck. Of course, you need the Utopia. And with the Utopia, either if you go first, you're going to make the ZEXAL, and if you go second, you're going to use it for the Lightning. So that's it for the extra deck. I do think the Lightning is necessary in your extra deck and not in the side, because you're not always gonna go first, and having the Lightning is really important at that point. It's actually funny because both the Lightning and the ZEXAL are both number monsters, so if it would come to it, you can revive them with the Rebarian Shark and put the material underneath them. It doesn't matter that much for the Lightning, but for the ZEXAL you can stall another turn, which is actually pretty funny. For my side deck, I've made the most optimal side deck that I could have think of. If anything has some other ideas about it, please share them with me, but I don't think that I'm going to change it up right now. It's pretty good as it is. I'm running the double Amorphous Sloth, reasoning when going first against Sky Striker or Goki, because if you can summon one and you can put one in the scale, they can't special summon from the extra deck and they can't search. So you basically run them out of options pretty fast, and the Sloth is more than likely going to win you the game as it is. Just summoning one Sloth against a lot of decks is already problematic, because not summoning from the extra deck is problematic for a lot of decks. Like, this is a searchable Vanity's Fiend in a lot of cases, so why not play it? Triple Round Boy, the Sphere mode. I think it's a necessary evil for this deck, just like the Phoenix. You have to play it, you don't want to, but you have to. If you come up against the Goki board and you draw it, you can get rid of 3 cards, so you get rid of the extra link. The only problem that you have is that you're still stuck on your Ibli, so you'll have to be able to attack, because I'm not running the Mermaid. I've been running it a long time, and I've opted against it because the Mermaid never came up. Just because either you never saw this, they didn't, they destroyed their own Ibli to get an extra draw from the Cerberus. A lot of scenarios, a lot of cases. The Mermaid just never came up, and if you have this and they gave you the Ibli and you're kind of stuck, just scratch the Ibli and you can go from there. I mean, if you break their board with Sphere mode, you're most of the time gonna be fine. Like, you can stall a turn because you don't have much more, and with an Ingirsu you can actually break another card, which is pretty good. Triple Cyber Dragon, nice ulti first. I think this is the best out for the Goki board. You can tribute summon it over the Ibli, you can special summon it when they don't give you the Ibli, and you'll just get rid of the extra link. Both the monsters, your Mega Fleet, will be at 3,600, and if they don't have Phoenix, which they shouldn't have, then you can run something over and maybe Pendulum Summon in the meanwhile, run something else over and go from there. Why I said that they shouldn't have the Phoenix is if they make Phoenix, they can't go into, you can Kaiju their extra link. So a good Goki player actually thinks about that, and they don't end on the Phoenix, because they just want to end on 5 monsters in their main monster zone, so you can't Kaiju away the extra link, which is actually the most important thing about that. So yeah, the Mega Fleet comes in handy a lot more. 3600 attack, just run over the one thing that you want to get rid of, like the Goblin, so you can target the Cerberus, so you can destroy by card effects, stuff like that. I mean, it's really good. Cowboy for in time, you have to blast away those 800 life points you want to win. Double Mystical Space Typhoon. I know what you guys might be thinking, Mystical Space Typhoon, what is this, 2005? I don't really care. I've tested Twin Twisters. I hated the discard at all times. I saw it when they had anti-spell, I could discard, I destroyed it, and I couldn't make a board because of the discard. Sucks. Losing 2 cards is hard in Pendulum. I've ran Cosmic Cyclone. When do I draw it? In time. Stuff like that. You can't use it because you'll lose because of the 1000 points. I could have tried Typhoon, the trap card, but you can't activate it from your hand if they only have the anti-spell, so it has a drawback. I was thinking about Zafion instead of this, but you'll lose your Battle Phase, which could be prominent. In general, I think the 2 MSTs are fine. You just want to stop the anti-spell, maybe a Rivalry if they have it. If they have both, tough luck. I mean, go from there. But yeah, I think MST is still better than a lot of other cards. And then the final 3, Triple Red Reboot. I know what you might be thinking, like, I didn't like Cosmic Cyclone because of the 1000 points, but I do like this. I cite these in against decks that have a lot of back row, like Altergeist, Paleo, stuff like that. The True Draco, if I still see them. Yeah, I mean, paying half your life points so you can OTK them isn't a lot. Like with the ZEXAL, I take 10 to 15 minutes to make my entire combo, and game 1's over. And then if I red reboot them in my first turn, I mean, it's just game over at that point. So yeah, I think red reboot is definitely the way to go at that point. And for other back row removal, just run MSTs. I mean, I think they're better. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I'm going to do a combo video as well tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's it. KM888 out.